Hi, today we're going to learn a basic four finger exercise. So, when we were learning about the fretting hand, we talked about how to use all of our different fingers and make sure that we're using different fingers for each fret. This exercise is really designed to help us with that. Okay, so we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Okay, then we'll do that on the next string. And we'll do that on the next string. I'm using rest strokes here, by the way, but you can experiment with free strokes as well, or even if you're using your fingers, that's okay as well. This is really just about using the correct fingerings on the left hand. On the A string. See, I'm lifting off my fingers as I go, and that's to make sure that I can continue moving my hand a little bit this way to make sure I get in the nice corner of the fret and I'm able to use the tips of my fingers. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way. We did all the different strings. I like to start at the first string because it's a little easier to reach. Up here you have to kind of go past all the strings. It's a little bit more of a challenge to stay on the tips of your fingers. But we definitely want to work on that too because it's important to play over here. Also, go descending down the string. Down in pitch, I'm going to start at my fourth finger. And then going to change strings and do the same thing on the B string. Using rest strokes now that I'm on the B string and continuing with rest strokes on the G string. That was the D string. Here comes the A string. And here comes the E string. It's almost logical to go that way with the descending pattern when we start at the first string. Then when we get here, we can go back with the other pattern, the ascending pattern. When you get here, you can go back the other way. That was a bit of a different one. I threw in some open strings and did a full chromatic scale. I'll do a different lesson where we really get into some other exercises for this because this is a really important one. So I consider this one very basic but also sort of advanced because I still do it all the time. It's a very good exercise for any player. So we'll come back and we'll do a more in-depth analysis of that. But for now, I just want you to play all four fingers on different frets like that. Now, this is actually the hardest place to do it because the frets actually are further apart at this part of the guitar, and as you get down here, they get closer and closer together. So one place that I like to recommend this exercise is here at the 9th fret for the first finger, and then that puts our second finger at the 10th fret, our third finger at the 11th fret, and our pinky finger on the 12th fret. And this is sort of an arbitrary choice. You can pick any four frets to do this, but the reason I like this is because I have a dot at both places. I have a 9th fret dot and a 12th fret dot. And unless I'm going all the way here, this is kind of the only place on the guitar that's really, I should say, comfortable to play. You can do this one, but it's kind of a little bit too high for comfort. So right here, it's kind of the only place where that will work out, where your first finger will be on the dot and your pinky finger will also be on a dot. So that can help you keep from getting confused. You just kind of stay between the dots. Play one note at a time. That was pretty quick. You want to go nice and slow as you get the hang of this. And make sure you're not hearing stuff like this. Hear how those are little, they're not too bad, but they're not quite right, are they? Want to hear them nice and clear. How do we do that? If it's not clear enough, what are things that could be causing that? Well, it could be the placement of the finger. You have to ask yourself, am I using the tip of the finger enough, or am I using too much of the side of the finger, the bottom, the fleshier part? Another thing you can ask is, am I close enough to the fret? If you're a little too far away from the fret, you'll get a buzz. Okay, another thing you can ask is, did I put enough pressure on the string? Did I squeeze down the string hard enough? Okay, remember, you don't want to squeeze any harder than you need to. So that can be helped with the thumb placement. Okay, well, that's our finger exercise. So that's a great one for coordinating both the left and the right hand together, or rather the picking and the fretting hand together, so they're, working in unison. Nice and slow. As soon as this pick is ready to hit, your other finger is playing the next note, right? Okay, well, that's how we use our left hand. That's a good exercise to get you going and making sure that you're not using inconsistent fingerings on different frets. We will talk about how that is okay in many situations, but for now, this is a great thing to get under your fingers and to get you playing guitar. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining me. I will see you in the next lesson.